Welcome to the Home Building Hub, your essential podcast guide to building your new home. Hosted by industry experts Colin Bischoff and Darren Brennan, this conversational podcast will help better educate you about all things new home building so you can avoid costly mistakes and enjoy your building experience to the fullest, no matter which home builder you choose.
Hi there folks, Colin here from the Home Building Hub and welcome to another episode. I'm here with co-host Darren Brennan and we're going to give you a bit of an insight today, a bit of a secret insider insight into promotions that builders use and how they work, and we're going to explain for you and break down the different types of promotions targeting the different types of markets to really give you a better understanding of how to work out your quote, what you're getting, what you're not getting, and sort of go through that and try and avoid or reduce some of that confusion that people face there, Daz, hey?
Absolutely. And quite amusingly, Colin, we're recording the podcast and then my dog starts scratching at the door. So she's clearly interested in promos as well. So can you hear the in the background?
Yeah,
so
I can.
The joys of recording and stuff, mate. So I thought I'd throw it in there and have a bit of a laugh. If you'd notice me smiling, if you're watching us on YouTube, that's the reason why, is the dog's trying to come in. I've had to whip the phone out and text my wife to say, call the dog. So,
right.
Mate, but the secret insights into builder promotions, mate, I think it's a great episode to really rip into. And I think people will get a fair bit of value out of this one. So hopefully we can, give our versions of how that is and where you can have some wins along the way as well, and sort of some of the questions you might be able to ask of your builder's sales consultant that might end up with you getting a slightly better deal than what you might have, but also understanding that there are different promotions out there and how they sort of play out for different builders and how that works. So, yeah, that's where it's at, mate. I guess there is a fee for the podcast. We like to talk about it every time, but please share the podcast. We'd really be pleased with that. We've had, I think I added up, Colin, about 2,500 plus people view the podcast so far, which has been fantastic. And, we're really, really thankful for all those people that have and the feedback that's come our way. But also, if you are enjoying it, give us a 5-star review, jump online. It's pretty easy to do. It's going to take you a matter of seconds. And that'll also help get more people to be able to hopefully grab value out of the podcast. Our disclaimer, whilst we're all about providing value to you, this podcast should not be considered as legal or financial advice. It contains general information only, and you should seek out independent professional advice on your personal situation before making any legal or financial decisions. Colin, I'm going to throw it to you, mate. You can kick this one off. I know you love this stuff, so this is one for Cole. Psychos a few weeks back were for me. This one's all for Cole. He loves it.
Yep.
So
I do love this topic, Darren, and for the listeners, buckle up. We'll probably, we'll be touching the line a little bit here with some of the strategies we share with you that builders use. But I guess I'm passionate about this because I find the industry for a first home or for any home buyer to walk into quite confusing. And I think the building industry does a really good job at confusing the hell out of people with promotions and different prices and display homes and things like that. Unfortunately, it's a it's a double-edged sword. We actually need all of those things as well in order to get people through, and inquire to builders. Okay, so we're going to learn a little bit more about that. Hey,
I am smiling, Colin, because this week I got my updated electricity charges, and it's I worked it out to be a 61% increase. But I've then been trying to do my own comparison, and if the building industry's difficult and a bit unsure of trying to compare, good luck comparing your electricity prices.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, it's a bit of fun.
No, it's good. So I want to give you a really good insight. And to do that, I'd like to start with car brands. And this is something I've discussed actually several times before. So when we talk about car brands, people understand those days a little bit more easily than builders. So builders, they're working out, well, what, they're a price point builder, they're a value builder, etc. So starting with car brands, there are more markets than this, but to keep it nice and simple, you generally have the price pointed market. So car brands that are aiming to be cheaper. You have the value for money market. car brands aiming to be more affordable, and then you have what you'd call a premium market. Obviously, that explains itself. Okay, so to give you some examples, one price point car brand is Haval. They're pretty cheap. They've got all, basically most of the things you need in there, and off you go, nice and simple. Value for money brand for me is Toyota. So it's definitely not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive either. It's good value for money. You get what you pay for, and quite reliable. And a lot of builders do sit in that category. Premium would be an Audi or a whole range of other brands. Okay, you do get a bit more in there, but you pay a bit more for it, and you pay a bit more for that brand as well. Okay, so one of the things I like to explain is that if that's three separate brands to address three separate markets, let's take Hyundai SUVs, a specific brand with a specific car type, and they even have different cars to target those three different markets. So Hyundai Venue is the cheaper price pointed version. Hyundai Tucson is that affordability one in the middle. And then the Santa Fe or the Palisade are definitely a little bit more expensive, got more goodies, a little bit more of that premium feel, right? So that's how the car brand market works, I suppose, or applying it to this discussion. Now, with builders, it's really, for the most part, it's exactly the same thing. You might be looking at a builder that's got a price pointed promotion, or a value for money promotion, or a premium promotion, or they might have a brand that's targeted to those things. Now, a premium brand can have a price pointed promotion, and a price pointed brand can have a premium promotion. Okay, so that's where it can get a little bit confusing. But what I'd like to do, maybe because Darren, you work for Metricon. In this
Absolutely.
Hyundai example I gave, realistically, Metricon is such a big business; it's got a range of brands, like the Hyundai example. So, tell me, Daz, what are some of those examples in terms of a price point, a value for money, and a premium that Metricon offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess and and there's sort of even layers within our own
Mm,
organisation of those as well. So we have home solutions as being, I guess, the price pointed, or it's more of a solutions driven product, hence the name. So that that's driven around. Yes, it's got to be good value because it's often attracting first home buyers and investors, and they're looking at price quite considerably, but it is also a process to try and help them through the journey of getting a home. Metricon also own ABC Homes, which is probably the price pointed part of our business. So they are
yeah,
generally, really good value for money. We then have in the brands that I represent, we have our Freedom range, which is definitely value for market, value for money in the market. Then we have our designer range of homes, which is a premium, and I guess we call it affordable premium. So you're getting that more luxury, but at an affordable level still, where it is in a lot of people's budgets. And then we have our signature, which is the absolute premium end of that market. And now we're talking spectacular homes, high ticket value.
mm,
The displays of these homes are some of the best displays going around. And so you walk into, some of these houses are like palaces, like they are spectacular. And that's
yeah,
sort of that end of the market. And again, you're right, Cole, that we'll often have a promotion for all of those different brands. So so again, Metricon as a business has multiple layers of promotions running at once to suit all of those different, um, product ranges and brands. So
yep. I'd add one thing, Darren, is it's not all about your buyer type as well. It's sometimes targeting just the individual and the way in which they think and the way in which they feel about the process. So, for example, Darren's explained that Metricon have different brands and they'll have different promotions. And as I said earlier, you can have a price point of promotion from a luxury brand, a premium brand. You can have, a premium promotion from your ABC examples that, as a price pointed builder, or brand, that they may have a really amazing premium value promotion that you pay a bit more for, but you get everything you need. For me, another thing I like to explain is that with what we do at H&L Victoria, we do full turnkey, everything's in there. We don't actually have a need for a promotion because, as a standard, we just include all that stuff up front. Like, you
yeah,
don't need to upgrade anything. You need to add your site costs. And if you want to spend more money on additional premium upgrades, go for it. But that's our approach, and that approach appeals to some. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting in terms of the marketing component. We have, I guess, our strategy that we talk to, whether you're a first home buyer, second home buyer, dream home buyer, whatever it is. If you just don't want all the fluff and all the confusion, you would probably appreciate a business like ours, right? And then within the builders space, every promotion can be nice and simple. If it's a discount, it's quite simple. You've got a really good level of inclusions. You've got a nice discount that's appealing. Lock it in today and off you go. But, there are some promotions that can be quite confusing. So today we'll take you through some examples of that as well. And I guess, just good to share another insight. You're not pigeonholed into a first home buyer or investor. You're also, an investor who goes, I just want no fuss. So you might have an investor who's actually emotionally connected to the purchase, and they want to go through a color appointment. They don't want to choose from color boards, and they want to add a few more goodies into their design and things like that. So builders have
I
had a
think the
lot
other
of
bit,
years experience doing this. Yeah.
Colin, I think the other bit to really be sure of is that, don't buy the promotion. You're going to buy a house. So make the focus on, is the floor plan right? Is that going to suit our lifestyle, etc.? And then look at what the inclusions are and how the promotion plays into that. And I still, you remember these, and I may have spoken about it in a previous episode, where I remember a customer coming in and he deposited with us because he absolutely loved the house. And then he's come back a week later and told me, look, I've decided to go with another builder because they've got a better promotion. And I've said, mate, well, tell me about that. What house are you looking at? He goes, I haven't chosen a house yet, but I just like the promotion so much. And I'm like, mate, you've lost the plot. Like, you don't even know what house you're buying, but the promo looks good. What if the promo looks good, but the house is, 200 grand more expensive? Like, what are you doing? What if it's only got 2 bedrooms and you need 4? Like, so don't put the promotion as the be all and end all. It's part of getting that total quote together. And I guess it's, don't just buy the promotion, buy the whole package is probably the bit of advice on that. But I'm hoping I'm not jumping too far ahead of ourselves in saying that, but I think it is pretty important. So cool. Talk to us, Colin, a bit about, I guess one of those levels of promotion to be price pointed promotions. Maybe run through some of that for us. What's that all about?
Yeah, so we'll give you the 3, so price, the value for money, and the premium. We're going to give you some builder examples of what you might see in the marketplace in terms of the promotion the builder's providing. So a price pointed promotion is really targeting, obviously, people with a bit of a tighter budget. Perhaps it's logical to think mostly first home buyers or investors. But I guess to begin with, one of the most common things, the promotion is all relative to the standard level of inclusions the builder provides, which we've covered before. So if a builder provides a really low level of inclusions, you can expect to see a pretty healthy promotion on top of that. If a builder, like I mentioned with us, or some other builders who offer premium inclusions up front, they've pretty much got all of it up front in the base price to make it easier for you. But as a result, they probably don't have as much promo spend left to give you a really amazing promotion because they've committed to doing it up front. Price pointed promotion, basically what that means is it's likely that builder is a very low level spec as far as standard inclusions are concerned. And 3, the facade choices would be fairly limited or pretty average. You might almost be forced to upgrade to another facade. If you want to spend money on upgrades, then that's definitely coming at full cost. Okay, so that's a price pointed promotion. 3 examples: get a 4-bedroom, 22 square home from $240,000. That would be a really nice promo to attract people who are looking at a price point. Number 2 would be new homes from $165,000. Now, what that means is the smallest home with the most basic of inclusions is $165,000, but the others are more. But it's enough for you to click on a button and get you to inquire with that builder and continue from there. Option number 3, choose 3 upgrade packs for the price of 1, valued at 35 grand. So it might be a kitchen pack, electrical pack, etc., or a flooring pack. Those things are really the type of promotions you can expect to see from a price pointed builder or a price pointed promotion. And the strategy is to try and give you a cheaper house, realistically. For people who are happy just to take the basics of basics, you can get a great win with a price pointed promotion. Absolutely.
Good.
Next
So I
one,
guess
Daz, over to you. Value for money
so
promotion.
value for money promotions. I guess they're targeting people that don't necessarily are after the cheapest, but they're wanting a fair price from a reliable builder. So I guess that's a big start. The inclusion level, a standard, often slightly higher than that price point of promotion type builder. It'll have a basic set of items with a nice set of add-ons. You'll generally get some more facade choices, so you might end up with 3, 4, 5 facade choices for free. You could end up with all of their facades for free and included. Upgrade required, some but not so many. So a lot of stuff is often covered in the promo. Will pick up the stuff that you don't generally get. So you can often, in that value for money piece, go standard house with a promo, and you've kind of got everything you need to move in. So some examples of that would be get 20 grand of upgrades at no cost, or pay $10,000 and receive $30,000 worth of upgrades. It could be an example of getting a discount off, so $25,000 off because you've got titled land as an example. It could be, get a discount, so 10K off, and also get a couple of upgrade packs thrown in with that. So it might sort of tie multiple layers of that together. I guess value for money is a good space if you can afford a little bit and you want a little bit of extra value to get the items you want within your budget. So it's certainly a good middle ground. And what I would say is, you're probably going to find a lot of the volume type builders playing in that space. That's sort of their realm, would be fair to say, Colin, I think. So
Definitely.
Yeah, over to you on the premium, mate. Talk to us about the premium.
Yeah. So again, this is a premium promotion, not necessarily what would be coined a premium builder, because in my mind, they're different things. So premium promotion would target those people with a much healthier budget, of course. The inclusion level with that builder is probably likely to be a little bit better in most cases. So you've got a little bit less confusion there by having most of the things like 20 mil stone might be included as standard, for example, high ceilings, etc. Facade choices with these sorts of promotions, because they do relate to a certain range that includes a bit more, or builder that does that. There's probably not much need to upgrade, but the type of buyer for that appeals to that promotion would probably be happy to spend a bit of money on a bit more of a premium or luxury facade, but the builder will usually have a lot more of those upgraded ones for no cost. The upgrades required, it's probably more individual preference at that point. So the standard inclusions plus the premium promotion would give you everything you need and want, but if someone's got a healthier budget, they will be a little bit more particular and pick some additional items and be happy to pay for those as well. A few examples of these promotions would just be choose X thousand worth of goodies or upgrades at no additional cost. So that could be 20K and it could be 50K, it could be whatever. So again, that's dependent on how much is included. So if you've got a standard level of inclusion that's really, really low, you can expect to see a 70, 80, 90, $100,000 figure, choose 100 grand worth of goodies for no cost. That's just how the marketing works. If they've already included, like in our case, everything up there, there's not enough room to be giving away that much. So it might be 20K worth of goodies at no cost. Promotion number 2 would be perhaps choose from one of our luxury facades. That's a very popular promotion the premium builders use. Here's a whole range of facades. You can have more at no cost, double stories, single stories, you name it. And number 3 would be like a free luxury pack and 10K off the base price. My experience, Darren, over the years is in any category, the most popular promotions are a bit of a combo of both. So you get a bit of upgrade value, but you also get a bit of a discount. So the client's feeling like they've won twice. They're the ones that generally have worked a little bit better.
I think, Colin, also, often you'll see if it's, for example, a pack, the bigger the house, the more money you're spending on a base price, the more you're often going to get in that pack. So sometimes it'll be, this is what you get on a single story. And if you're buying a double story, you actually get a bit more. You get a staircase upgrade, you get some other stuff because the base price is higher. And so there's generally a little bit more in the base price that will allow for these promotional items. And every builder's slightly different in terms of how they price it. So often they'll have a dollar value amount associated to the base house price that sort of gives them some money to play with, and put a promotion together. And the promotions there, as often as not, is a bit of a hook. So, it's there to try and drag the person in the front door so you can have that conversation. Even ourselves at the moment at Metricon, we've got on our designer range, we've got a couple of promotions running, and our team will talk to that customer and then find out what their wants and needs are and direct them to one or the other. And I guess the second promotion isn't as heavily promoted, but often I'm seeing the quotes coming in that the guys are directing them towards that because they've ascertained for that customer that suits their needs better. So having that conversation with your sales consultant, will often help, because you might be someone who just wants everything included. I just want to have it all included. And I just want to know that that's all in there. And then the next buyer says, well, I want to go to when I do my color selection, I want to know that I've got plenty of room to play, and I want to be able to upgrade stuff when I'm there. And I want to really make my house super fancy and put all this really nice stuff on there. And so just different wants and needs for different customers will mean that a really good sales consultant will understand that. They'll ask enough questions and go, this is the deal that's going to suit you better, or option B is a better deal for you. So, work with your sales consultant, ask plenty of questions, and help them guide you to the right outcome. I can assure you that they're going to want to get you the best value that they can offer you, because for a sales consultant, that's going to be the easiest way of securing you as a customer. If they can offer you a better deal, then you're more likely to proceed with them, and they're more likely to see you build a home, and that's what they're to do. So certainly that can help.
They're not arguing or negotiating with a vendor. That's not like, it's different in our industry, different in our space. So I think that's a good point, Darren, and probably the one I wanted to finish on myself with I guess the end of this part of the episode is, please understand, whilst we're sharing the strategies of promotions and the I guess the logic of promotions, which makes sense to you after you've listened to this, please understand that none of those promotions are misleading. It's not really the case. What they are, though, is their marketing. Our industry is very, very competitive. To get you through the display door, or to click on the button and leave your name, number, and details on a web form somewhere, it's not that simple to do that. And realistically, and I'll back what we've said before here, Darren, is that we've always said to you, the quicker you go to sit down with a sales consultant and let them take you through the process, the better off you'll be and the less confused you'll be, taking you from perception down to reality. That's our advice to you every day of the week. Promotions are a way just to get you in the door, to get you in a position to go and do that. Right? Most, when you inquire about house and land package, most of the time people don't buy that house and land package. They change the block, they change the house, they put some upgrades, etc. A lot of the promotion inquiries end up the same. Like you said, Darren, they end up, maybe there's a better option on the table that suits that person and that buyer, but perhaps they inquired about the homes from $165,000, but they ended up spending, $294 on a little bit of a bigger home, because that's actually what the budget and everything that suit them. So I want to make it really clear. It's not a builder misleading you. It's builders in our industry. They're doing what every industry does, and that's marketing. They're putting something, one of the most important commodities you've got is attention. They're putting something in front of you to get your attention, to attract your interest, and to get you to inquire, so they can actually start the process of going and taking you through perception down to reality and cover all the stuff we've been through before. Okay, so one last thing I'll add before you kick off with the I guess the end of this, Darren. The last thing to understand is that a promotion is a promotion, but builders will often have, how would I put this? Builders have site starts to fill. Sometimes a site start, a job cancels, and they need to fill the site start position. So they may be able to offer you a genuine discount, or whatever it may be, if you've got titled land or whatever, that's over and above whatever promotion that's out there in the ether for people to see and be part of. So the reason I'm saying that is that it sounds like we're saying there's no value in any of these promotions. It's not true. There's different value in different promotions based on the buyer type. But over and above all of that, builders can quite often give you an additional incentive to proceed today based on their need to fill a spot. Okay, so there are good deals out there. There's good buying, but make sure you listen to the sales consultant, and that leads us to the next part there, Darren. I suppose the
Yeah, I
question
think
more.
on that note, Colin, often it is, if you're ready to make a decision, then ask that question. But if you're thinking, I don't want to make a decision for 6 months' time, then the answer is probably going to be not the answer you want to hear. So, it's sort of understanding, your position, and builders are wanting to encourage you to move forward, and so yeah, that does lead to the next bit, which is, often we see buyers holding off paying a builder deposit, hoping that they're going to get a better deal down the track, or the chances of a better promotion coming out, etc. 2 months or 2 years down the track, and it's a really low chance of that happening, is my advice. The market's usually, if you're trying to time the market, you're probably kidding yourself. It's better to be time in the market, and you're going to be better off. So, if you've got a quote that includes everything that's within your budget and got everything in there that you need. So, and again, the promotional play a big part in that. And it all works out and you feel pretty comfortable with the builder, it's probably time to pay a deposit and get onto the journey and start moving forward. And the builder's going to want to look after you as best they can in that respect. So, look to make that decision and move forward. I was with a couple of industry colleagues yesterday, and we were just talking about, sometimes, and the current market's a bit like that, where people are a bit scared to make a decision, and do I do it? And interest rates are a little bit high, and what do I do? I glance back to 2013, 2012, when the market got really tough after, we had the GFC, and then we had the builders grants, and then the market really tanked at that point. And there were a lot of people, struggling to be able to afford. Valuations were a huge issue then. So, but those people that grit their teeth and made a decision to proceed forward would look back now, and I give Point Cook as the example in Melbourne, where they probably spent $500,000 on a house and land package, which at the today looking back is ridiculously cheap. Those people now, many of those people have homes that are worth $1 million plus, and so they made a decision to proceed forward through a tough time, grit their teeth, worked out a way to pay their bills, made sure it worked. And I'm not by any chance suggesting you should buy a home if you can't afford it. Like if you physically can't afford it and the bank says no, don't go and make a fake pay slip up to make it look like you're earning more money, or, lose a kid so that you can, which I've heard of before. And I'm by no ways will I ever encourage that going on. But if you can afford it now and you can make it work, take the plunge now, because in the long run, you're going to look back and go, geez, it was the smartest decision I ever made. Those people in Point Cook, well done to all of you people who grit your teeth back in 2012 and 13 and made the decision to buy, because you've made a hell of a lot of equity, and you're now, much wealthier than what you were then. And you've got a much smaller mortgage than you'd have if you went to buy today. And I reckon you'd be doing pretty well. So, hats off to those people that took the challenge and grit their teeth, as I said, and got through a tougher market. And that's the market we're in right now. So, I really encourage anyone who's thinking about it, don't be scared if you can afford it. Make the decision and move forward. So,
yeah.
Cool. Good on you, Cole.
No, that's good. Hopefully that helps you guys break down promotions and understand where the builder's coming from as well. We're obviously pro-builder, but we're also about providing clients with a really good insight, so you understand how quotes are working. And just as you said, Darren, like, don't just look at a promotion or a figure of site costs, or it doesn't really help. Look at the overall quote. Make sure it's within your budget.
One point I was just thinking about exactly what you're saying there, Colin, too, is one thing that we often see is don't shop the same builders, multiple sales consultants hoping you're going to get a better deal, because they're all got the same deal to offer. So, we see that a lot. Funny. They go from this display center, round the corner to the next display center of the same builder and go, can I get a better deal? And they're just hoping for a different answer. The answer is the deal will be the same. Right, yeah. The deal will be the same. So doing that's just wasting your time and wasting those consultants' time. So we wouldn't be advocates for that happening. If the off chance that you really dislike the person that's in one center, by all means, look to make a change there, and that can be sometimes a little bit political within the builder. But have that conversation openly and honestly. and look to, and it's never a nice conversation for the builder's rep, that is. But yeah, don't just go, oh, I'll go around the corner and get a better deal off. Colin and I both many years ago worked for Simmons. Don't leave me to go around the corner to talk to Colin hoping to get a better deal, because it'll be the same deal. So yeah, don't
they probably
do that.
should though. They should come to me over you. Yeah.
I'll leave you to come to me.
Yeah. You walk into that one. But yep. If you trust the sales consultant, you feel comfortable with the builder and the quotes where you need it to be, go for it. Is our advice every day of the week. Well, that's good, Daz. I think we haven't crossed too many lines. We're going through some of the detail there. Thank you all for listening. As always, please do leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening to. That would be very helpful. And other than that, if you've got some questions, jump on the website, contact us button there, and send us an email, feedback, questions, etc. And that pretty much does us for this one, Daz. Thanks very much, guys. We will see you on the next one.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.